guys, I am Chris Kaler.
And I'm Amber Kajin Cosplay, and today we are back on you guys with Viking! Episode 5, Season 6, Part 2, or Episode 15, Season 6. That's a mouthful.
Yeah. Last episode, Ivar managed to escape with Igor, Vitsak, and Katya. They went to the brother, and they're gonna prepare to attack. So maybe it happens today. The name of the episode is All at Sea, I think. All at Sea, yes. So who knows? Oleg is not liking this at all.
He did not see that coming. For the prophet, I'm disappointed.
Well, yeah, but he's losing it a little bit, and he's killed many of his officers, if not all. So I don't know how he's gonna manage to defend himself against these guys and their army. But I'm excited for that fight. In Greenland, there's trouble again. They found a whale in a land that has nothing. And Flatnose, basically it fell on his land because they separated it, so he claimed it for his own.
Yeah, but nobody has nothing right now, so that's kind of a shitty decision, to be honest.
Well, it's gonna lead to fights. Yeah. You know, he's being greedy about it, and he's being paranoid, and it's not gonna lead to anything good. So hopefully they keep sailing, because they're very close to fucking America. Let's go!
Nobody's convinced that that's not the golden land that the other guy saw, so...
Well, it's not the one he saw, so... True. Ubbe knows it, too, you know, deep down he has a feeling that he should go somewhere else, and he had a vision last episode, too, about how Greenland is a godless place and stuff. Not very, you know, reassuring, so hopefully he leaves this episode, because it's called All at Sea. And aside from that, you've got Harald, who got crowned again. Now he's king of Kattegat and all of Norway, so that's a thing.
Yeah, and no surprise there, he wants to wed both Gunnhild and Ingrid.
Yeah, so, and I mean, the both of them are not sure about their future, so they might do it, or at least they both said they were going to do what was necessary for them to survive and be in a good place for the future. So we'll see how that goes, and yeah, let's jump in this episode. See what happens.
We're halfway before the finale, guys. Yes. I can't wait.
I hope we have time to do what we planned for the finale. We know we want to do some war makeups for the actual episode, but we have something planned, kind of like what we did for Breaking Bad. So hopefully we have time to film that. We're excited. So yeah, let's see the episode.
I can understand why we said that the whale is his, but for now,
I said it before, he's acting like a child.
Everybody got nothing right now. Everybody.
If anyone steps foot on my land, they will die. What is the point of this show, huh? The whale washed ashore on my land. It was sent to me. What else can it mean? Have you lost your mind? The gods have chosen me. You don't care if everyone else here just dies. I am king here. I will decide who stops. Won't you, murderer?
If I were Ubbe, I would just be, I'm done. I'm getting out of there, please.
Like the vision told you, this guy is a problem. He was a problem in Iceland. He's a problem here. It's the despair, the paranoia, the starvation, all of that. Jesus, how many fucking shows are gonna do long shots this week? It looks pretty cool. The way they did this scene, you know, the music, the screams, the acting, the long shot. Oh, let's see. Yeah, they're basically like...
Look at me! I am king of Greenland!
Yeah, are you happy?
You're alone.
Rejoice!
You're alone in Greenland.
You're gonna
Good job.
King of this.
Of a dead whale. Nice.
He lost it, you know, too much pressure, too much...
I think even his son is dead. I think the wife will be done after that.
Don't trust anything Oleg does or says.
It's a trap.
Make it look like everybody just left.
Ivar did something very similar in New York.
I told you.
Prince Dear, the army of Kiev salutes you and offers you and Prince Igor our profound love and loyalty
I don't
from
trust
this day
that.
forward, by the grace of God.
I don't fucking trust that.
Me neither.
Thank you.
Not after the speech he gave last
By the grace
episode.
of God, amen.
Make it seem that they're welcome inside. It's a plan to just get them inside, make a feast, give them wine.
Because, like, if the people had rebelled against Oleg because of how he was and what he did, we would have seen it, right? It wouldn't have happened off screen.
Yeah.
So either he, like, this is the plan, or he retreated with the people he had that were loyal to him, and he's planning something. I'll be like so tense till we finally get to.
They came to a place called Golgotha, which means the place of the skull. There they offered Jesus wine to drink, mixed with gall. But after tasting it, he refused to drink. When they had crucified him, they divided up his clothes by lot.
He doesn't look good.
I don't think he sleep at all.
Yeah. He's like,
Those who passed by hurled insults at him, shaking their heads and saying, "Come
he
down from
imagines
the cross,
himself as
you are the
Jesus.
Son of God." In the same way, the chief priests and the elders mocked him. He saved others, they said, but he can't save himself. He's the King of Israel. Let him come down from the cross, and we will believe him.
Oh my gosh.
Not looking good, damn.
Has he just lost it, and is it that easy?
No, that wouldn't be that easy.
He trusts in God. Let God rescue him now if he wants him. For he said, "I am the Son of God."
Were they both his wife and his mom?
That's what I thought, which makes it very ironic since they betrayed him. They're supposed to be the only ones with him, you know, supporting him, and then they betrayed him because of what he did and who he is.
Like you said, you think that maybe he's not even aware of what he's doing?
Oh, I definitely think he doesn't understand. He sees himself as an ultimate good, or you know, the guy who's completely right about everything.
Let us all live in peace together. Let us live as God intended. Let us talk and forever put our differences aside. Oh, my brother in Christ, it is all I ask.
I mean, if he dies like this, I'm gonna pity him so bad.
Nothing more. Take this bow and arrow and kill your uncle.
God commanded.
Don't be a cripple anymore.
I don't know.
To be fair, I would have made a trial for
In his own
Oleg
way, he does love me.
Yeah, but his own way is messed up.
in a twisted way. Yeah, no.
I love you.
I'm against
He's gonna
that.
have to die anyway, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, capture him, make a trial, then execute him, I guess.
No, wait. Let me kill him.
I don't know what to feel. Like, I like to hate Oleg.
If he dies
No,
like this,
Igor! Not you! No!
I'm sorry.
just like that, I'm pissed, guys.
Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do.
He sees himself as Jesus so bad. Oh my god. It actually looks pretty cool.
No, it looks cool, but it just,
Anticlimactic, that's what you want to say?
yeah.
I don't think
With
so.
his speech at the last episode, I would have.
Yes, but we'll talk about this. I don't agree. he's about to get everything he wanted.
Don't
At
lose
the
it
same
this
time.
time.
At the same time.
Yeah.
Hopefully nothing happens. And she gets what she wants to, again. Even though it's with the guy that raped her. Now the question is Gunnhild gonna show up? I almost wished, you know?
You came.
I want to wish you and Ingrid every happiness.
Oh.
Then you're not joining us in matrimony.
No, in my heart, I am still married to Bjorn.
In public? In front of everyone? You're saying
Now I
that?
have to go
Where are you going?
to my love.
Gunnhild.
Never. Let her be.
I go now to join Bjorn in Valhalla.
The worst is she seems like happier than she's been in a very long time. She's gonna swim out at sea and she's gonna die.
I don't want to. Oh, that's you were right. I don't want to make a joke, but I've never seen that type of wedding crasher before. But
I think it's interesting though they chose to have her leave like that, considering I think the actress is a professional swimmer.
yeah. But I think that maybe something broke in her when she was talking to Bjorn. The fact that the golden age of Viking was gone.
She lost Lagertha and Bjorn, like very close one to another.
I think that maybe for
It's
once
freeing her. She's freeing herself.
Yeah. I can't help but be a little bit sad for King Harold because between the two women, that's the one that he wants to marry the most.
Something had to happen. He can never get what he wants. Jesus Christ, we got Oleg and Gunnhild dying this episode.
So what are your plans now?
I don't know. Depends
On what?
on you. You know that.
But I'm here now, back with my family.
So they matter more than I do.
I'm sorry.
Don't worry. I have other ambitions.
At least she's being honest with them. I'd rather have that than the manipulation.
She won't blame me.
Yeah.
How would I ever blame you?
Because I'm carrying your child.
Is it true?
Now it could actually be true.
Katja's carrying my child.
Your child?
Yes. My child.
The true one this time.
But I know she doesn't want me to stay. Are you coming with me?
Where to?
Big surprise.
We had to do one last attempt, you know. Oh,
They told me you were leaving.
face.
You can't. I won't allow it.
No.
So it's true. You are leaving. You are not a child anymore. Only a man can be king. And a man must put aside childish things, and he must learn how to stand on his own feet.
Oh man, it's the end of the chapter. The music is so good.
I love the rush chapter, guys.
I loved it too. It's really
The
sad.
setup, the place where they shot everything.
You've changed.
That he
We
did.
never really changed. We just think that we do.
Oh, you changed.
You've changed.
You used to be Oleg, dude. I was wondering because we had many maybe end of episode, you know. This episode was the end of many chapters. It's just the closure. Now all we need is it's the last stretch. They're about to start the last stretch.
5 episodes, yeah.
Oh my god!
Okay, first of all, guys, I'm really, really sad about Gunnhild.
Very sad too.
Because she was so sad after Bjorn's death, and she just set up doing what was right and leading the people, but after the son that Eric tried to do with her again, or even though that you're married to Harold, we can still be lovers. We love each other. You know, she was just so done with it and said, no, that's not what I want. I used to be happy with Bjorn, and I'm gonna be happy again with Bjorn, so I'm gonna join in Valhalla, which is freaking sad.
And all she had, honestly, weirdly enough, you might not agree with that, but I think her death is very similar to Oleg's. Very, both of them we would have expected something huge, She was a warrior, she fought with Lagertha, she fought with the legends, and she married Bjorn. She was supposed to be this badass successor to this legacy that he left her, and she couldn't take it on because at the end of the day, all she was human. She was a woman who had gone through her grief, lost a child, lost a husband, lost a confidant, and a teacher and a good friend. Everyone that she knows is gone. All she has around her in Kattegat are people that, say they love her, but they don't really love her and they want to use her. She did, like you said, she had nothing left and she didn't want to take part in any of these games. So basically, I think it's just proof that even though we would expect in a story, in a legend, for her to take up arms and stay strong and keep moving. She was saying last episode, the age of Vikings is over and stuff. She didn't see herself as a potential legend or anything. She was broken and she was very human.
Yeah, but
in the end, her death was very slow, sad, and weak. Weak as in human and vulnerable.
that I could have expected because we've seen her being lost in her thoughts and being a little
Oleg
bit
too,
morose.
and that's how I tie it in with Gunnhild's death. Oleg, in a very similar way, we thought he was this crazy guy who always, had a thought, a plan, passion, ambition. He said at the very beginning when we met him, that, well, not at the beginning, but he said to Ivar once that the Rust people, loved deeply, passionately, that they had strong emotions, and all of that. I think it's all true. I think in Oleg, it showed as, too much emotions, he seemed crazy at times. He had too much passion, he had too much love. I believe him when he says he loved Ivar and he loved Igor and he loved everyone, that he said he loved. It's just that he loved them so much, and the way he portrayed love, kind of like Igor was saying, was twisted in his own fucked up way. He believed what he was saying, and he loved his wife and the one he killed and stuff. It's just that the betrayal, the constant betrayal, the stuff that he doesn't understand, because he portrays himself, he saw himself as Jesus, a guy who can do no wrong, a guy who always tries to save everyone but cannot save himself. He saw himself as a martyr, And then in the end, he got betrayed by all the people he loved, and he called for peace and he called for love. He was human. I think that's how I connected to Gunnhild. Both of them were supposed to be something fierce and strong, and they got broken so bad that in the end, they showed their vulnerability and their humanity, and they died as humans. So that I think that's why I accept and understand that both of their deaths were slow, calm, and more sad, and on the, you know, the bittersweet side than on the, you know, blaze of glory, kind of like Bjorn. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's true. It's sad that it's not sad, but it's kind of disappointing that he didn't die fighting and stuff. But he was broken.
It's not that he didn't die fighting that is upsetting me. Just because in the previous episode it was because of his speech, in a way that he was speaking that no one's gonna.
Yes, because he lost it. He lost it, and then he realized he couldn't do shit.
Okay, I don't mind with the way that he died. I just mind that I was expecting that he hyped us a little bit. He did something, you know?
He did hype us a little bit about it.
I wouldn't mind if he did something and it didn't work, and now he's just more and more broken and he died like that. That would have been fine.
Yeah, they had to rush it a little bit, maybe. It's true that they hyped a fight and a revenge thing. I think very beautifully acted though by the actor here.
By Daniela,
yeah. In this episode and the last, his breakdown in at his wife's tomb and stuff showed his true colors. And after that, he did his speech about how he was gonna, get revenge and stuff. But I think those were just words, because at the end of the day, he got betrayed once more by everyone he cared about or kept close and thought. But that's the thing. I think his entire way of seeing love and support and friendship was twisted. So he thought he loved Ivar, he thought he loved his wife, but then his possessiveness, his obsession, sorry, yeah, his obsession and his tendency to lash out when you don't do exactly what he says. We talked about, I don't remember in what show, but I remember we talked about abusers and how, if you put yourself in the mind of an abuser, they never do any wrong. They explain it to themselves, in their mind, it's their way to love. So if we really want to analyze Oleg, we need to put ourselves in his shoes. And I think doing that, I don't think he understood that what he was doing was pushing them all the way. I think he truly believed that this was love. This was how it worked. And all he did, and like, I think it's
a really hardcore,
tough love. And he was trying to show Igor how to be a king and stuff, and he didn't realize that he was destroying him by pushing him again and again and turning him into a man the wrong way. And then it's poetic and very ironic that in the end, the guy he pushed to, make the hard decisions and be a man and be a true king was the one that killed them.
Sentence, yeah.
And he didn't like that. I don't think he liked that because it's like an ultimate betrayal. It's a guy he thought as his, he thought of as his son, and for him to shoot him, it's like you give everything to someone and he repays you by killing you, it was the ultimate betrayal, and that's just proof that he really did not understand his link with the kid. But for me to, him seeing himself as the Christ on the cross and stuff, like he really saw himself as a martyr, and he thought that what he did was for the good of everyone, It's just that he had a very bad way to show it.
I know that I've read in our comments that some people said that maybe Oleg did have a bipolar or borderline disorder. What do you think about that?
In our comments?
Yeah.
I didn't see that, but I don't know, but I would not be surprised. Like, they didn't push it enough for me to be like, well, I would definitely say so. But I think, like, if someone was to tell me that he had, or that it was meant to be this way, I wouldn't be surprised. So I'd accept it either way.
Do you think
he could also just be very strong on his, a very passionate man. There are people that love strongly, deeply, like, and are so intense with their emotions like that. And I don't think he was.
To be fair, not to the same extent, but for example, our own mother. She sometimes can be a handful and
go from very, very happy to very mad and
yeah. So I can totally understand that type of character. But yeah.
But that's the thing. Like I don't think they put the emphasis on it so much so that I'm convinced that oh yeah he definitely was like bipolar or something. But like I said, if someone was to tell me, well, I think he is, I'd be like, well, I agree with it. Makes sense.
Do you think that maybe after his speech, it's so passionate speech, his army and the people decided to just
Well, no one wanted to follow him.
like fuck off Oleg.
When he showed up, they were dancing, they were happy, playing music. You know, they were okay with opening the gates and...
You think that might be when he broke down?
He was alone. Like, that's the thing. I think he spoke about revenge and stuff and he figured out, he realized that no one was there to support him. And then they showed up with the army and he was not prepared and they had opened the gates and they were like, well, we're willing to just lay down our arms and be on your side. And he was like, fuck, like I have nothing. They don't understand my sacrifice and stuff. Like his entire speech was about sacrifice and well, we know about Christ on the cross who was saying, don't punish them, don't blame them or anything because they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like that's the exact same thing from his point of view because I don't think he's a martyr. He definitely dug his own grave. It's his fault. But that's why this entire scene, to me, basically Oleg was supposed to be this strong prophet guy who always saw things coming and he was, badass and terrifying. Yet he died very human and vulnerable, kind of like Gunnhild, who was supposed to take, to be Lagertha's legacy and Bjorn's wife. And then she was supposed to do like Ingrid did and keep fighting, but someone actually mentioned that in the comments, and I thought it was really interesting how both of the girls, were offered that chance to keep fighting and become queen, but then Gunnhild has no passion, no motivation to keep going when it comes to that, and Ingrid, was definitely willing to keep fighting for a good place in Kattegat, so we saw that they were very different in that way. I wasn't surprised when she showed up to say, I'm not going to marry you. I was definitely surprised when she decided to kill herself. But then she had, that's why it's so bittersweet. Because even though, I don't support that, she had never looked that happy. Which is why it's so sad.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Let's go back to Greenland.
Harold can never get what he wants, ever.
Well, it did got a girl and
not the one he wanted.
Not the one he wanted. But he still got a wife.
Yeah, and now Ivar and Vicek are gonna come out. Which, by the way, we need to talk about this very, very quickly.
Yeah. Before we're about to Greenland.
I get it. I get it. When they were talking inside, and before she told him she was carrying his child, I was thinking, you think you love her and stuff because you have a past with your wife. And they look similar, but she had to, she used you sort of, I don't think she hates him or she wanted to manipulate him that way, but she ended up using him for the success of the good people in Kiev.
Did they grow close with each other? In a way, yes.
Yeah, they care
but
about
like
each other.
But like she said, from the moment that he saw her, and I know that I read a comment saying that from the director point of view, they used the same actress for both characters because they wanted to show Ivar's guilt.
It's definitely, we know that.
We know that. And from the moment that he saw her, he only saw his late wife, and he didn't for once see Katya for who she was truly. Which would have made it awkward. I can totally understand why in the end she had to say, you need to go, even though that I'm carrying your child. Because she's not what he wants.
So then the decision to leave was made for him, but it probably was difficult to leave a kid behind, especially considering he lost his other one. Even though it wasn't his baby, this one was his, and he would have had a chance to have something there that he wanted for a long time. It's just that it wouldn't have worked out, I think Ivar cannot consider settling down anywhere with a kid and a family until he's lived out his passions, and I'm not sure it's ever gonna happen if he doesn't die, by the end of this season. From what you know, Ivar died on the battlefield.
I know that Ivar died on the battlefield with a smile on his face.
Was he old?
I don't know if he was old.
I kill him in
I
Valhalla
know that.
AC.
That's the game. But I know that technically, in real life, Ivar did have children. I think he did have a wife, yes. And he did that on the battlefield with a smile on his face.
But I think that's because that's where his true place is. You know, he likes to be in the action. He likes to pursue his he's like Oleg. It's just that he's changed a lot since last season. Last season he was Oleg, and Oleg was broken by his mistakes and what he did. And Ivar was also broken by what happened last season, but then what happened in Kiev changed him for the better. This was a chapter I really enjoyed.
Thanks to Igor and Katya, yeah, it did
Jesus,
change.
yeah, he changed a lot, and I love it because last season really screwed him up for me and for many people. I'm guessing. I did not like that Ivar, and the change he went through with the Rus, I liked it a lot. It brought back the humanity in him and the Ivar we loved from the beginning.
Yeah.
So, but I think his true place is on the battlefield, so it makes sense that he's willing to just not push this, you know, give Katya what she wanted because she has a point, and follow his other passions, with the knowledge that he left behind an heir, which is great. Like, it's better than nothing. Some people don't have that luxury, Bjorn.
Ritzer.
It's,
Sigurd.
Yep. It's not going great.
Nope.
For the sons of
Okay.
Ragnar.
Let's go back to Greenland, guys.
Oh yeah, well
We saw it coming.
The
Not as
entire
quickly as we
scene,
thought
though.
it would be, but yeah, we saw it coming.
I picked up late on the long shot, but I thought it was beautifully done. Like, very vicious and very human. Very, like, well, not human, but raw emotions and raw, instincts of just fight or flight.
Despair, hungerness.
And by the way, like, apparently most of the actors, Ubbe's actor and Flatnose actor, specifically, lost a lot of weight for this chapter of their story because they were supposed to be starving. So, and I kept an eye out for this, and it showed a lot on Ubbe. So I was like, oh yeah, it's true. Yeah, I see it. But it's true. Yeah, what they went through when they came to Greenland. First of all, they had hope, but then they lost it a bit with all the storms, and they lost a child too. Like many people in the storm. It's never good to face hardships on the way, but then when you get to your destination and it wasn't worth it, it's even worse, So, and Flatnose was already, paranoid, and he had lost a lot of hope. Like, all he wanted was to be king of Iceland. He saw that hope dwindle as they went, and then he had hope for a better place, better than Iceland, and he got something worse, and then he decided to be king of that because that's all he can get. Maybe when you've lost so much, you're looking for something worth all the struggle and all the pain. And then he got the whale. The whale is like an answer. You know what? You're the chosen one. I give you Greenland. There you go. There's your whale. He lashed on that like it was like the last drop of water for a guy that was dying of dehydration, basically. I think he desperately needed something to prove him that what he had done was worth it. But then, it?
You know what's worse is technically, since the whale was on his territory, guys,
point, but come on.
And if he did share it with people have been not in debt, but
well, they would have appreciated it a lot.
They would have appreciated it, but it would be
I don't think that with Ubbe, son of Ragnar, people would have followed Flatnose. There's always going to be someone that matters more. It's just that they were bound to break at some point because there's nothing to farm. There's nothing to do. There's no life in Greenland. There's nothing.
Are there people living in Greenland right now?
No. I'm pretty sure there's not. And if I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but there's nothing. It's rocks. So he was happy with the little he got, but eventually that whale was gonna go to waste because keeping it all for like a few people was not
Yeah,
they were gonna lose the meat.
That gonna rot pretty fast.
Yes, and then he would have nothing, and he ended up with nothing.
He ended up being the king of.
Hence the was it worth it? You know, he wanted something worth all the struggles and all the death he saw last season and stuff, but then he basically lost everything he had for that.
He did lost a son, too, right?
I'm pretty sure his wife is the only one that's left, and
she won't stay long.
they'll kill each
She
other
won't
and
stay
or
long.
die of starvation. Yeah, it's not gonna be. They're done. They're not gonna survive this. Like even if they decided to somehow leave, if there was still a boat there, I don't know. There's 2 of them. Good luck. Anyway, they'll survive for a while, but
though, because she never wanted to have that much bloodshed.
yeah, but I mean, she could have stood up to her husband more. You know, she followed him. You know, she never really agreed, but she followed him still. You know, she wasn't for it. Like I agree, she didn't want fighting or death. She could have run away too. You know, she could have left him. Love sometimes that does things.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully now they have their gun on their side. Hopefully they get to find the real America. Actual America.
The real golden land.
I mean, they'll have to because they cannot cross back to Iceland with no water and no like.
They
Floki,
got water now.
Like, weirdly enough, like Floki chose to be in this situation before. You know, when he went with nothing at sea and he found Iceland. Well, now they were put in that situation where they have nothing and they are at sea, and I think they will end up fighting America. That's gonna be funny.
Yeah.
But hey, twist of fate. Still, it was a very intense episode that felt like the end of the second to last chapter.
The
You
end
know?
of many chapters and the beginning to many ones.
Well, no, not the beginning of many ones. The beginning of the last one.
Well, beginning of the last many ones.
It's the
then.
last part of the story. The beginning, the middle, and the end. Now we just entered the last stretch. It's what it felt like. You know, we're closing some stories, and then we're opening one major one and one. Well, still major one because Ubbe's story is major.
You were
We have two people to follow,
Yeah.
and we'll see what happens with them.
You were so sure though that Oleg would have been the big bad that we have to defeat at the end of the season.
But then it looks like it's gonna be Harold. Which, like,
I don't know.
honestly,
I don't know. I got in my mind that we need one last battle with Wessex, you know, guys?
in 5 episodes, like, forget about it. I'm pretty sure we're not gonna see, or if we do, they're not gonna be that important. I'd be surprised. You
Alright.
have the right to tell me I told you so if we ever go back to Wessex and see them.
I'm gonna remember that.
And see them. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this episode with us. If you want to see the next one right away, it is on Patreon already. You can check it out right now. The link is in the description.
And if not, wait for the next one to be out on YouTube, which will be next week, guys. So we're
Yes.
gonna see you then.
Bye!